evening everybody, and welcome to Monday the 23rd of January's live. We are day 472 of January, or that's how it feels. A very warm welcome to you wherever you are joining me in the world. I hope you had a lovely weekend and January is treating you well so far. Excuse the little mess behind me. I am mid-prep for a big event that I'm holding in March, and there are boxes everywhere. Things have started arriving, so lots of boxes and lots of customer orders, which is really nice. So thank you to everyone who's ordered. If you haven't ordered, if you've placed your order with me over the last few weeks and you want to come and collect it, you can come and collect that just by getting in touch with me. If you haven't heard from me, everything is now here. So today I am going to be sharing with you some designer series paper that at first glance I wasn't sure on, and I'm still not sure on, but I'm hoping by the end of tonight's live I will have decided that I like it. Any sneak peeks? Just empty boxes at the moment, but a few things that I've ordered, so they're tucked away, Maria. I'm keeping them very close to my chest. Hi to you, Louise and Denise Cooey. So I'm going to play with some designer series paper tonight. If you have any comments or questions as we craft along, pop them in the chat and I will try to keep up. As always, everything that I'm using is available to purchase from my online store, and you can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. As always, there is a online shopping code for you to enter at the checkout, and you will receive a free gift and card kit from me in February. So I will make a little start, and yeah, do join in as we go. So bear with me, I'm just going to switch my camera around. Still haven't worked out the online tech, so we are reverting to old school, manually moving my camera. So let's just work out what you can see and what you can't see. That's better. Okay, so you can see my desk. We've got a fresh sheet of grid paper ready for the evening to see where this live takes us. Okay, I'll stop moving it now because it's really annoying, isn't it? Okay. Hi, Bev. So, as I need to stop saying the word so. We have Celebration running at the moment. It's running throughout January and February, and Celebration is where you can choose free items when you place qualifying orders, and it runs from now until the end of February or until stocks last. Some things may sell out depending on how popular they are. So the paper that I thought I would play with this evening is the Favoured Flowers DSP. For me, this is a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you don't like it. I want to love it, which is why I'm going to play with it tonight. It does coordinate with some items in the mini catalogue. It coordinates with the Fragrant Flowers bundle, and that's on page 21 of the mini catalogue. I will show you all the main products before we get started. So this is the bundle that it coordinates with. Beautiful stamp. Hello and thanks, friend and love. Beautiful images to colour, and those are the images that you'll find in the DSP. And you've got a cute little geometric stamp here, image. There are dies that come with it. You've got outline dies, you have detailed dies, and you have a banner die. Maria? Nope, don't like it. Okay, I'm going to try and change your mind. Challenge accepted. This is the DSP. It's a mix of Basic Black, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia and Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink. On one side we have these really loud flowers. On the other side we have some more generic style patterns. Okay, we've got a lovely deep Blackberry Bliss. If you don't like the flowers, actually some of these more sort of generic patterns may take your fancy. This one's really nice, I like that one. We have a big flower, we have a really busy sheet, petal pink. I do love the other sides actually. The other sides speak to me a lot more than these flowers do. Okay, and I'm going to try and use some of these. I like this sheet with the big flowers. Lots of fussy cutting opportunities. My favourite, fresh freesia. And this one here is Calypso Coral. So if we take out all the reverse patterns, and you get two sheets of each of these in the pack. If we take out these patterns, I really like it, especially those three. Really love those three together. And then we have some darker shades, and there you have the flowers. So if you don't like the flowers, you've got these geometric patterns. If you don't like the geometric patterns and you love the flowers, you've got two of each. Okay, so they are the designer series papers. Now those papers, there are 12 by 12 sheets in the pack, and you can choose those for free when you place a £45 order. Now those DSPs were retail at about £11.25, so it's a great bargain, and lots of fussy cutting opportunities for all my fussy cutting friends. Now I have already chosen me some cardstock. I have chosen some Evening Evergreen, some Fresh Freesia, some Basic Black and some Calypso Coral. So I think let's have a little play with those colours to kick us off. I'm going to start with my Fresh Freesia, and I'm going to cut me a nice little card base. Okay, I'm going to cut two. I'm going to line this up on the long edge at 14.9 centimetres and score. Turn it round so we've got the short edge at the top. Line it up at 10.5 centimetres and cut. That gives us two card bases for the price of one. Okay. Now let's start with this lovely DSP, shall we? Really nice geometric pattern and some busy flowers on the reverse. Okay, I'm going to cut myself a sheet that is 10 centimetres, couldn't think then, by my favourite measurement, 14.4. Okay. Now we've got that as our backing piece. Do I want that as my backing piece? Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? That's pretty. Shall we do that pattern? Evening, Sandra. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about this free DSP that is a bit like Marmite, we've discovered. Let's cut a little base, I can't even get my words out. Basic black card, actually. Sometimes you just have to have a little play, don't you? Let's cut me a card base with black. So let's go 10.5 by 14.9 and score. Oh, much better. Much better. Prefer that on there. Right, now I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to line this up at the midpoint. Now the midpoint, 14.4, is 7.2, 7.12. And what I want to do is I want to cut down into that DSP. Now on your trimmer down here, it's really hard to see against the black. You've got some measurements. Now my arm is in inches, so this is where I'm going to mix up my measurements, and I'm really sorry for this. So 7.12, and I'm going to cut down to about 1.5 inches, and I just need to raise that up to be able to see it. Okay. And you know where you're getting to, because on your trimmer, on your blade here, you've got a little line. So we're just going to move that line down until it sits next to the 1.5 centimetre. Okay. Take it out, and I'm going to fold this back on itself. Okay, now the further in that you cut, the bigger your triangle is going to be. So if we set that on there, we're getting both of those sides of the DSP, and we're getting this little area here, but I want to cover this here in white. White or vanilla, what do we reckon? I'm thinking maybe vanilla may be best, but let's do a little comparison, shall we? Oh, and we're using the pink. Oh, I don't want that colour, do we? I really like it, but that's me. I knew you'd love it, Denise. I knew this is a colour that you would enjoy. Look at that on the black. Oh, just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So bear with me. I'm going to see, do we like it with the white? I'm thinking I do like it with the white. I am more of a white than a vanilla crafter. Yeah, definitely the white. Okay. So now let's cut me a little bit of white. So I'm going to go slightly bigger. I'm going to go 14.6. Is that 6, 6, 7, 14.7 all the way round. 14.7. Turn it round and go 10.3. You prefer it on the coral. I love it. I love how you girls love to express what you think, and I genuinely love that. And this is what means that whenever we're given a set of products, we will all create something different. And how amazing is that? So we've got that, and then we've got this black. I think that is beautiful. Let's do a little bit of sticking. I'm going to stick all of this down flat. Quite like that you don't actually see much of that black card coming through. I'm going to pick my scissors up then to stick it down. Right, now these, we're not going to stick them down flat, we're going to stick them down with a little foam pad. All the foam pads are coming out to party. Just to raise it that little bit. Evening, Sophie. I finally replied to your messages. I hope you caught them. Just sticking that down like so. Really enjoying this so far, and I'm not hating those papers. Now we want to cut one of these out. Do I have one on there? Yeah, let's use this one. And out come my little scissors. I think if you had the dies with these papers, the dies would cut around some of these images, but sadly I don't have the dies. So we're just reverting to the old scissors. Hoping this paper grows on you. You really want to like them. Oh, I hope you like them. I definitely think it's one of those papers that if at first you don't really like it, it could easily be something that you could tone down. You could tone it down by picking out some of the colours in the DSP and using those rather than the black. But hey, you may be like Denise and love them already. Evening, Gillian. Oh, I'm glad you really like it too. Just going to trim a little bit of this off because it's getting a bit fussy now, even for me. Okay, so we're going to add a little flower about there, but first let's choose a sentiment that we can add in. I'm going to stamp my sentiment in here, I think. Let's just see what we've got here. What have I got on my desk? Just going to have a little wiggle of my laptop. Love the foldy bit. I like the foldy bit too. I wonder if our little framed florets would come in handy. So depending on the size of your sentiment, you could squeeze that in there, or you could go bigger, pop that across there and then stick your flower underneath. I think I'm going to go bigger. Go big or go home, they say, don't they? Where is a block? Let's have a little block. Now, what colour do we think? Calypso coral or black? I'm thinking black. Stamp that down there. Now, what dies have we got? We've got a stylish shapes. This may be too small. Right, let's cut this out, shall we? Cut this out with a little bit of die cutting. Yes, I know this die is too small, but just bear with me. Morning to you, Glenda. Glenda is in Australia, so it's not me going bonkers and saying good morning when it's the evening. Let's just move that out of the way. Now, yes, I know this stamp is too small, but just bear with, bear with. Let's do a little bit of cleaning of our stamp. At this rate, we may only get one card done, but you know what? That's okay, because I have Wednesday to change your mind as well. Let's restamp it. And now we're going to cut a little bit of this out. Let's just cut around this. So this will give our banner a little bit more texture, and we get a multicoloured stamped sentiment, which is always nice. I'm just trimming around this, leaving a little white line around the edge. This is a great technique for if you want to just add a little bit more to your sentiment, and also if you want to change your sentiment. Okay. So then let's put this on. So we're just going to line that up and put it back over, and we then get a little multicoloured looking sentiment. And then I'm going to cut this word heart out now as well. How are we? Are we hanging in there? What a clever tip. Thank you, Louise. I do this quite a lot with my sentiments. You just have to be careful not to snip your fingers off. There we go. Get rid of all of my rubbish, and now we're going to pop the heart back on. Okay. There we go. Thank you with all my heart. And then this can go onto our card front. Let's add a little dimensional there and a little dimensional there. Okay. Put that across like so. You always go for boring straight lines so that the sentiments fit. I think it's quite nice because it just adds a little bit more to that banner. And it just changes up that sentiment ever so slightly. Right, now what do I do with my flower? Here is my flower. We've then got our really busy flower that we can put on just about there. What do we reckon, guys? So let's put a little dimensional there. And one over here. There we go. So we've got quite a busy card going on now with our flower, and then inside, obviously there's quite a lot of weight on that front, so let's add a little piece inside. Let's remember our measurement. We were 10.3 by 14.7. Stick this down. Love it, thank you. Glenda says she loves this DSP. We were having a chat before you joined, Glenda, whether or not we love it or we don't like it. But it's nice to see lots of you loving it. I'm going to cut me a little strip here. This is another really nice little tip. Nice little technique. It's just 1 centimetre cut off that DSP. Stuck along the bottom, just to give you a bit of that outside on the inside. Oh, that's too short, so let's just pull it over a bit. There we are, and then let's stick in just a little flower detail, shall we? Let's go for, what else have we got on here? This is where your edge flowers come in really, really handy. Let's go for this one here. And this is a great way to use up those flowers that are on the edge of the DSP that you think, well, I can't really use that as a main image, but by sticking them in the centre of your cards, you can pop it just there. Oh, it's growing on you already. Woohoo! That's made my day. You're so good at fussy cutting. It's a lot of practice, Denise. A lot of practice. There we are. So we've got on the front, what does it say? Thank you with all my heart. And then inside we could put celebrate. Just a little reminder that you are loved. I'm not sure that that will fit. Oh, that's annoying. It's just a little bit too small to go in there, but let's put it just up a little bit. My desk was beautiful and tidy before we started. It now looks like a big creative mess, which I just love. Just a little reminder that you are loved. There you are. That would be a nice little card front on itself. So thank you with all my heart. We've got a nice little technique there, cutting the DSP so we can see that beautiful geometric pattern coming through. And then inside we've got a little bit more detail. So that is my first card of the evening. I am of course going to share another one. We are 28 minutes, so we're doing okay. I am going to go with some purple this time. So do we go purple? No, let's go with this lovely pink, shall we? Lovely pink, 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 pink to make the boys wink. This is Petal Pink. Let's cut this at 14.9, not cut, score at 14.9. Let's have a little bit. Actually, no, I am lying to you. Let's go 10 centimetres on this. I'm going to do one of my favourite designs, and this is my go-to design when I get pattern paper. It gets my little creativity flowing. So you've got our white sheet on the back. Then I'm going to cut a 3 centimetre strip of this really, really busy paper. 3 centimetres. And I'm going to cut this down to 13.9. Oh, I love your card. Thank you, Lynn. And Denise is in purple heaven, although I've just strayed into pink again. I'm really sorry. But there will be a little bit of purple on this one. So this is one of my favourite designs. So basically, it's a good way to use up little bits of the DSP, but also a great way to showcase some of these patterns all together. So now let's use this one. Let's go 3 centimetres by 13.9. Oh, so are you late? Catch the replay. No worries, Joanna. I hope you're doing all right. Thanks for popping by to say hi. I've started with these papers. My head is just buzzing with lots of different white. That is 10 centimetres by 14.4, and then we've got 3 pieces of this lovely DSP that is 3 centimetres by 13.9, and this is coming together beautifully. And sometimes I find that when you've got a really busy patterned paper, by using smaller pieces of it, actually focuses the eye and just adds a little bit, less is more, what is what I'm trying to say. There we go, look at that, loving that. Right, let's go for another little sentiment, shall we? Shall we go with so lucky to call you friend? So lucky to call you friend. I love this sentiment. It's a really nice one. This is the framed florets stamp set that I'm using. And I'm going to use the same die actually. I'm going to use the same let's stamp it first. I'm going to stamp it in black because we've got lots of different colours happening here. So lucky to call you friend. Let's put this little banner on and cut that out. Here we go. Oh, Too Cool card arrived. Oh, I'm glad she liked it. Brilliant way of using up odd pieces. It really is, Bev. It's a great way for using up odd pieces. So let's stick that down. Let's add some dimensionals which have escaped over there. 1, 2. And you'll notice that I've not stuck them all the way along, and there is a reason for that. So I'm going to put that down there actually, because we don't want to cover up too much of that lovely DSP. Now let's bring in another one of those busy sheets. There was one sheet with a few flowers on, wasn't there? So let's, where's my snips gone? Here's my snips. Let's see what we've got. Picking out the right sheet. Yeah, let's go for this one. Now one of these is going to be too big, so I'm going to use this one here on the edge. Am I? See, that could go in there like so, couldn't it? Let's trim around this one. Yeah, so this design, if you get a pack of DSP and you think, I'm not quite sure how to use it, just cut yourself a few 3cm strips. And honestly, it does all the work for you. So if we put that in there, let's cut a couple of these as well. And this is just about playing around, working out what you think looks good. And you're not actually using lots and lots of materials. This is just a few sheets of card, one die. And you could even cut that die, cut that shape yourself just by snipping into each end of a strip of white. You don't need to have a die for it. And it would even look good with a different sort of shape as well. Okay, so let's stick. And now I'm going to trim that down. Right, let's stick him on there. Yes, I do talk to myself like this when I craft as well. Is it better down or up? I think up. Stick him there. Let's put that in there. So I'm just lining it up so that you can't see the edge of it. So it's just about being clever with what you use. And then here I've got, oops, sticking down. He's just moved. Didn't want that to happen. Like that. What do you reckon? You could even line that up sort of there, but no. I'm going to put that there like so. That's it. So there we have card number 2. We've got card 1 and card 2. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to add my little inside to this one. So my inside piece, I need another piece of white, I think. Got any scraps? I do. So this one now needs to measure 10 by 14.4. And pop this piece inside. There we go. I'm going to leave that one blank, I think, inside. So there we have our next card all finished, and I'm going to give you one more just because I'm nice like that, and I'm going to keep with the black card base theme. I know I cut my Calypso coral card bases to start with, but I am going to go for another black card base, 14.9. And what I think helps break these papers up a little bit as well is just adding that layer of white. That layer of white just sort of does it, doesn't it? So now let's grab me another piece of white. Or do we go with purple? Decisions. Let's cut this, and then I may change my mind. Oh, Gina can't wait to try these at the weekend. I'll pop the measurements up on my blog for you, Gina. And let's see if this is big enough. 10 by 14.4. Oh, look at that. Let's take it down a bit. Right, so there is that one, and I want to cut out this flower here. So bear with me, guys. Go and make yourself a cup of tea because I may be here a while. I think you're going to like this card, Denise, if you're still watching. I'm chopping these little extra bits off because I'm going to cut my fingers off trying to cut those out, aren't I? Just trimming it all the way round, leaving a nice little black line. This one's going to be pretty. So I am now absolutely hooked on these papers, and I feel like I could just continue cutting them. Oh, that's nice, that's nice. And I'm going to chop it in half. Just quite literally chop it in half. Okay. And so this one is 10 by 14.4. I'm going to trim this down so it's 9.8 by 14.2, which it pretty much is already, because that one we cut a little bit wonky, didn't we? Do I have the Fresh Freesia blends? I do have the Fresh Freesia blends. How similar? See, I think the Highland Heather blends are quite purpley in colour. Sorry, quite blue in colour, whereas these are more of a pinky purple. I must admit I prefer Fresh Freesia to Highland Heather, and that's probably going to be the purple that I miss when the colours change over in May. Okay, so we have that and we have that. Now I'm going to cut me just a little slither. And this is my little slither here. Let's go from the bottom. Let's go 3 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres. So that's going to be my piece that goes across there. We want a sentiment in the middle. So I have So Lucky to Call You Friend, or I know what we could use. What about this? Thanks. Oh, you're enjoying a glass of wine. I'm very, very jealous. Right, so let's do thanks. And I'm nearly done because my phone is saying it's overheating, which is always a good sign. We're going to stamp this in black. So this is the Kind and Sincere stamp set. Can't believe how fast these cards are coming together. And to be honest, I didn't really have a clue as to what I was going to do before we started. But now I've started, I feel like I don't really want to stop. So we've got thanks across. Let's put that about there. And now this is where we can play. And where's the other half of my flower gone? There's the other half of my flower. So we're going to put that one in there. And we're going to put that one in there. What do you reckon? I've got another idea. Let's put this on. Let's put this on with a little pad, which I've gone walkabouts again. They're there. Once you get on a roll, it's hard to stop. It really, really is. So I'm just sticking these on. And here's me saying, if you joined my launch, I was quite openly saying, I don't like these papers. I would never buy them because I don't like them. And I would never be able to use them. And now look at me. I've made a few cards. And I feel like I don't want to stop. Okay, so we're putting that flower in there. And we're putting this flower in there. And let's just prise that off there if I can. And I'm going to just snip a bit more off, because I feel like it's touching the bottom of the card and it shouldn't do. That's better. Much happy with that. And then now, so we've got thanks for everything. So now let's have for everything. Here we go. And now, where's a little bit of purple? Let's have a little scrap of purple card. Here's a little scrap of purple. Now I think black would look really nice. Black and white heat embossing would look really, really nice. But I'm being really, really lazy. And I can't bother to get my heat embossing out. Now, at least you get an honest perspective here with me. Sometimes we just have days like that where we think, I can't be bothered to do that. Thanks for everything. There we are. And then I'm just going to add one more little thing to this because I feel like it needs a bit of extra layering. It still feels a bit flat, and I think it's that white strip across the middle that I'm finding quite flat. So I'm just going to cut another little piece of this, and I've just trimmed this off the edge of my card. Sorry, edge of the DSP. Sometimes it's just a step too far. Does that mean you're telling me not to do this? Or does that mean you think I should carry on? Or sometimes the heat embossing is just a step too far. Okay, yeah, it just needs a little extra layer. So let's put this in, and I'm gonna do a bit of that and a bit of this. That's better. So it just lifts a little bit there. And then I've got one more thing and then I'm done. So for me, I'm not enjoying this stark white line around the edge. Oh, no heat embossing. Okay, that's fine. I am going to just draw me a little doodle line, because sometimes a doodle line is needed. Better, much better. I really like that now. So we've just got our layer inside to add, and then we are home free, guys. We've got 10 by 14.4. I do love the difference a doodle line can just make to a project. Okay guys, let's have a little tidy up quickly and we'll do a little recap. So at the beginning of this video I showed you these lovely papers that some of you said, oh, I really like them. Someone said, oh no, I don't like them, they're not for me. Not interested in those, and you might still think that, but I'd like to think I may have swayed some of you into feeling a little bit different. So these are the DSPs. Some of them are really busy. Obviously I didn't use this one. You've got a nice deep purple there, Blackberry Bliss, and some of them I have used more than others. So just to go through the designs in a bit more detail with you to recap, we have the first card that I made. I've shared a little technique there for just lifting up that DSP to show off some of the other side if you've got both sides that you love. I've also shared a really sweet little technique there to just make a little bit more out of your sentiment, and if sometimes they don't fit, if they don't fit on the banner, this is a way of just extending that banner and adding something else to your cards. Inside this one, I think the inside of this is my favourite. We've got just a little reminder that you are loved, another one of those flowers, a little strip of the DSP, so you're marrying it all together there. Card number 2, which some people are saying is their favourite. This is one of my favourite techniques. It's one of my go-to techniques. We've got 3 strips of DSP. I've just chosen 3 different patterns that I think work well together. And we've added a little bit of layering flowers and the same banner there, but I've used a sentiment that fits. And then on the last one, we've used that purple, and I've just extended that image. I'll show you where that image is. That image is this one here, so you can see it's not that big, it's more sort of this big, and we've just extended it by adding that white banner across the middle. And then inside that one, on here I've also added a little add-on sentiment to bring in that colour of the DSP. So there we have it, guys. There are our 3 cards for Monday. Do let me know in the comments which one you like, and also if I may have changed your mind on this. What is it called? It is called Favoured Flowers DSP. I'd love to know if I have changed your mind. As I mentioned at the beginning, this paper is free at the moment when you place a £45 order. It's one of the celebration items that you can choose from. Everything is available to purchase from my online store. You can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. If you're watching the replay back on YouTube, thanks so much. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I will be live again next Monday at 8 o'clock, same time, and I look forward to seeing you all then. Thanks so much. Bye for now.